All right. Hey, y'all. I am going to show you how we're going to do this assignment if you are doing it with paper and pencil today. So remember that the supplies you're going to need for this are your Mystery Train envelope, your pencil, a colored pencil, any two colors that you like. I'm going to be doing red and white. And then you're also going to need your grid paper. Okay, so first we're going to start with what is in this very mysterious envelope. So I'm going to open it up. And inside the envelope, I have directions. And then I also have, oh my goodness, a collection of 2 different colors of squares. All right, and let's remind ourselves of what our guiding question is here today. Our question is, how might a number line help me count a collection of things efficiently? Remember that when I want to count something efficiently, that means that I want to do it quickly and I want to make sure that it's correct every time. So I have a collection. I have a number of these colored squares, and that's what I'm going to use to do this assignment, to make a number line. Here I go. So the first thing that our directions ask us to do is to make a cube train for your number. A cube train is when we take the cubes and we put them in a row, nice neat row, just like this, just like the cars of a train. Okay. I need to use 2 colors to show my groups of my numbers clearly. And fortunately, I have 2 colors. I have red and I have white. I need to have 10 groups of whichever number I'm working on. I can tell that the number I'm working on is 4 because it's written right here at the bottom of my directions. Okay. So I know that I'm going to have 10 groups of 4 by the time I'm done with this. The last thing I'm going to do is draw strips and label the multiples of the number that I'm working with. And that's what the graph paper is for. So let's start with number 1. Number 1 is I am going to make a cube train for my number, and I'm going to be sure that I use 2 colors to show my number correctly. Okay, so here's 1. Remember that I need 10 of these, so I'm just going to line them up. There's 1 group of 4. Okay, and I'm going to fast forward through this part so that you don't have to watch me do it in real time. Okay, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 groups of 4, and I have arranged them in my nice, neat, even train. So now that I can see this really clearly, what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to push it up and out of my way, and I'm going to draw it onto my graph paper here so I can start labeling my strips. So I'm going to very carefully push these up and out of the way. Bloop. You will not be able to see them, but I will still be able to see them. Not to worry. Oakley dokley. Okay, so now I've got my grid paper and I've got my train of cubes in front of me. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to copy my train of cubes onto my paper here. I'm going to fast forward through this part too, just so that you do not have to watch it in real time. Here I Now I'm going to use my colored pencil to color in that train that I've got there so that I can make sure that I can really clearly see my squares. Alrighty, I have my whole train colored in. Now I am ready to put my strips underneath each of the different trains here. I'm going to make my strips double the size of my train so I can see them really clearly. Okay, let's see. There's the first one, second one, and now that I have those nice, neat, even strips underneath there, now I'm going to go back through, and the last thing I need to do is label it with the multiples of the number I'm working on. Remember that another name for saying the multiples is skip counting, and you know how to do that. Okay, and the last thing I'm going to do is label the multiples here. So that means that I'm going to be skip counting by 4. So here I go. 4, count with me, 8, 12, 16, make sure you speak up so I can hear you, 20, 24, 28, 32, 36, and 40. Awesome. So now that I have skip counted and I've used my number line, which remember is a line where you have labeled the intervals with different numbers, I have used that to help me figure out how many total cubes are in my train. And now I know there are 40 total cubes in my train. If I wanted to, I could use an equation to figure all of this out because I know that I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 groups of 4. And now I know that I have skip counted that the total number of 10 times 4 is 40. So once your strip looks like my strip does right here, you are ready to take a quick snapshot of that and then send that along to your teacher, which is me, Mrs. Hamilton. I'm excited to see your work, and thank you for joining me for the paper and pencil lesson for today.